In this video, we are going to dive deep into one of the most intense and tragic chapters of Nigerian history, and that is the Biafra War. This conflict was not just a simple fight over power, but it was born out of years of deep ethnic, economical, and political tussle or issues that was refused to be addressed. In order to understand why this war happened, stay with me to the end of this video as I share with you details that will blow your mind. In 1914, the British brought together many ethnic groups and merged it into one country and call it Nigeria. The conservative Hausa people from the north, the Yoruba from the west, which are known for their strong economy, and then the Igbo from the east, which are known for their strong entrepreneurial spirits. These three major ethnic groups and other ethnic groups have different interests and pursuits, but the British did not look into their differences but went ahead to merge them together. So in 1960, when Nigeria gained independence, the difference in these ethnic groups became more obvious, making it hard for unity to be achieved in the country. The power struggle between these three regions quickly turned into a serious conflict. So, in January 1966, Nigeria had its first military coup, where a group of young military officers took over the government, planning to expose corruption and to bring good governance. In this group of young military officers were different ethnic tribes, some from Igbo, some from Yoruba, and some from Middle Belts. But because the majority of ethnic group in this group of military officers were Igbos, and they went to kill key government officials like Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa and Sir Ahmadu Bello. So the Northerners felt that this was the Igbos' move to take over or dominate the government as of that time. And so they planned a counter coup against all the Igbos in the northern states as of that time. And they killed Igbos massively, that made Igbo people to begin to travel back to their states to take cover and secure their lives. This violence and massive killing made it obvious that Nigeria was deeply divided along ethnic lines. So the eastern region, led by Colonel Odumegwu Ojukwu, started believing that Nigeria was no longer a safe place for the Igbo people to stay. In attempt to solve this growing tension, the Aburu Accord meeting was held in January 1967 in Aburu, Ghana. The goal was to reach a compromise where each region is given more power while keeping the country united. Ojukwu wanted the eastern region to have more control over their affairs, especially when it comes to their security and their financial resources, given the fact that the region was even rich in oil. This agreement seems promising at first, where the both parties agreed to operate more decentralized governments where the regions will have more power to control their affairs and to make changes in the military to avoid further coup. However, when the leaders returned to Nigeria, the federal government led by General Yakubu Gowon did not fully implement the terms of the agreements. Gowon felt that giving each region more power will weaken the central government, thereby giving each region more opportunity to succeed whenever they deem fit. Because of this, Ojukwu felt that he has been betrayed. In fact, that the eastern region has been betrayed because the agreement was not fully implemented. Therefore, the leaders of the eastern region felt that they have no other option than to declare independence. And so on May 30th, 1967, Ojukwu and the eastern leaders declared the Federal Republic of Biafra. According to Ojukwu, this declaration was to protect the Igbo tribe and also their resources. But because of the oil, the federal government of Nigeria felt that they could not let go of such important region that brings money and resources to the central government. So the Biafra War started officially in July 1967. In the early stage of the war, the Biafra forces were winning over Nigerian troops. However, the Nigerian troops quickly adapted its strategy. The Nigerian army, fully supported by the military from Britain and Soviet Union, focused on cutting off the Biafrans from accessing the sea, thereby cutting them from having access to food resources. This was what led humanitarian crisis in 1968. This blockage of access to the sea led to massive famine in Biafra land, which in turn led to the death of millions and millions of Biafrans, particularly children. The images of starving children with distended bellies became a symbol of this conflict and became a worldwide outrage. Inasmuch as the international countries like the Soviet Union and the Britain was backing the Nigerian troops, France and Portugal was backing the Biafran forces. But their interest was not to protect the people. Their interest was to secure the oil from the Biafra land, thereby detaching Britain from the oil. But when these international bodies saw that the Biafrans were not winning the war, they have to let them go. Despite the international empathy and support, Biafra struggled to maintain its fights. So by late 1969, the Nigerian army launched a series of coordinated attacks with the help of international military against Biafran troops, conquering major key cities in Biafra land. And with the shortage of food supply and ammunition, the Biafran troops got exhausted. So Ojukwu fled the country in 1970. Shortly after that, Biafrans officially surrendered, and that ended the war. General Gowon, in a bid to promote national healing and peace, declared the war no victor, no vanquish, promising to rebuild the areas that has been destroyed during the war. But the economic policies that he implemented, like the £20 compensation rule to give back to Biafran despite how much they have in their bank accounts was unfair to the Biafran people, and this made many Biafran families to be impoverished. The deep wound and sense of betrayal that came out from this war have lingered for decades. The legacy of the Biafra War is still felt even in Nigeria today. For the Igbos, it remains a symbol of continued marginalization in which abetted groups like the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, who have revived the quest for self-determination, pointing out or arguing that the issues that brought about the Biafra War have not been resolved even till today. But for Nigeria governments, it is remembered as a necessary war that needed to keep the country together. But even though the country is still fragile when it comes to unity, often challenged by ethnicity and the quest for regional autonomy. Let me know what you think about Biafra War. If there is anything I missed, don't hesitate to put it in the comment section because I will be there reading your comments. Thank you for always watching. Don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, subscribe and follow us on this page or channel depending on where you are watching from. I will come your way again soon with another interesting Igbo history. Don't forget, my name is Uche and this is Gist TV.